It's Mr. Cleveland, by the way. Thank you. Young Thug fans are turning on him. Donofsky. Shout out Donofsky. Let's get into it.
Damn, Thug done beat Rico and came out lame as hell. Young Thug's run since getting out, showing DJ Khaled barely being able to play basketball. Ever since
It's,
Thug got out of jail,
no, the
showing
means to
a
be funny as
picture that
hell.
says, when you find out your goat is washed. After Young Thug came home after the YSL Rico, fans expected him to make a grand return, a first day out single, an album, a tour, and even reunite everyone's favourite artists again. But it has been far from that. He dropped a single which fans laughed at for being incredibly boring.
Hold on.
Or from that, he dropped a single which fans
If you gave an AI an Atlanta trap song prompt, this will be the result.
laughed at for being incredibly boring, repeatedly calling Gunna a rat even though Thug also took a plea deal, signing upcoming Atlanta artist Nine Victims who has disturbing allegations against him, and most recently, even labeling Kid Cudi as a rat for testifying against Diddy. It's been a complete mess for Thug ever
Yeah.
since he got out, and with him planning to drop his
Well, even
album
still got that tweet up. Let's go see if he still got that tweet up.
next month, it's not looking too great for him. So let's bring it all the way back to the May of 2022, pretty much 3 years ago from now. Young Thug
Hold on.
Gunna and 28 other YSL associates were charged in a 56-count Georgia RICO. Now of course, everyone was devastated. Thug is seen as an Atlanta legend, not only putting out hits and albums people loved, but also being seen as an inspiration to multiple generations of artists, whether it be the likes of Uzi, Carti and Lil Baby claiming they all look up to Thug, or even this newest generation.
Okay. My bad, y'all. Trying to see if I tweet up. Uh, hold on. They got a new little baby snippet. Let's see if it's hard. It's not that bad. I know niggas gonna hate on it because his little baby he going through that phase right now. Hey, nah, but what? Damn. Okay, that's the Juju on the Beat remix. But no, I'm trying to think. All right, yeah, yeah, that's what I was supposed to be looking at. Nah, bro, I'm taking too long, bro. My bad, y'all. I'm really bullshitting around right now. I'm trying to see if all right.
As an Atlanta legend, not only putting out hits and albums
I guess he
people
deleted it,
loved,
huh?
but also being seen as an inspiration to multiple generations of artists, whether it be the likes of Uzi, Carti and Lil Baby claiming they all look up to Thug, or even this newest generation with the likes of Yeep, Ken Carson and Sofago. And the thing with Thug's career at that point in time was, even though he was already deep into the game, numbers wise he was just entering his peak. In 2019, he achieved his first #1 album with So Much Fun, selling 131,000 units in its first week, followed up by Slime Language 2 and Punk in the following years, which also landed at the #1 position in the Billboard 200 albums chart, which completely outperformed anything he put out in the past. Before So Much Fun, Thug had Delete me! The internet
internet can be a crazy place, but you know what? It's full of your data. Data brokers are everywhere, and
had never cracked the top spot or six-figure openings. So, as Thug was incarcerated, he was scorching hot, with fans expecting this Rico to make even more buzz around his name, allowing him to come home greater and bigger than ever. If he gets out and drop an album, I can honestly see him selling 200k easy. Man, the first day out track alone would break the internet. I mean, we've seen it before. When a rapper gets locked up and then eventually freed, it creates this huge anticipation as fans haven't heard anything from them in such a long time. And not only did the actual arrest of Thug and Gunna have mainstream attention, but also all the events surrounding the trial.
I ain't gonna lie, he looked crazy right there. What the
Gunna have mainstream attention, but also
that looks crazy. God forgive me, by the way. Nah, he looked crazy right there, like ill.
all the events surrounding the trial. Truly humble under God, Thug's music being played in the courtroom, Gunna supposedly snitching.
I mean, he had the aura around.
Theatrics on the stand. It was like some sort of TV show. And
yes, ma'am. Hey, I follow Gunna though. I follow Gunna. I like Gunna. I like that. That's. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. I don't care that he did what he did. I don't care. I just that popped in my head when he. Oh man.
And I mean his labels even dropping his music throughout his time away, singles with the likes of Yeat, Calvin Harris and Mariah the Scientist, even dropping an entire Metro Boomin curated album, Business is Business. However, none of these had that real hype or feeling, as it wasn't actually Thug dropping the music, it was people behind the scenes. And now let's move on to Young Thug's release from jail, because this is where the real controversy starts. So Thug would end up getting 15 years of probation, which many saw as a success. He is able to go straight home after facing life in prison. However, his parole had some terms that may affect how he would go about his career. No Metro Atlanta for 10 years, no contact with anyone he knows to be in a criminal street gang or with any co-defendant, except his brother and Gunna for contractual music business, cannot promote a gang on social media, no use of gang hand signs, lingo or symbolism, 0 guns within arm's reach of him, random drug screens. So that's just some of them. Ones that I think would impact his career the most, because we all know a lot. That's just some of them. 0.
Yeah, okay, in this term of hype loss, him not able to say lingo, it's like, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, but Thug can make his own lingo, though. He got the sauce, man. At least he had it, you know? But I think, I think the problem was also, like, he kept, like, poking at Gunna. He kept doing, like, that, poking at. I'd rather him just say it, we're Gunna no more. I'm done with Gunna. Like, I'd rather him say that than, like, did the little, like, subliminal, like, you know who he was talking about, but, like, it got to the point where it's like, all right, y'all overly hating this nigga. Like they said, you took a plea deal too. You know? And, yeah. So, I mean, Gunna wanted out, man. He was like, name somebody on YSL right now besides Nine Bitches. We ain't talking about Nine Bitches right now. We not talking about Nine Bitches just got on. We talking about before that. Who was keeping YSL hot? Lil Key. You know, Key had his buzz too. But yeah, realistically though, who was keeping YSL hot? Exactly. Gunna was. So Gunna out, bringing more streams to this game. I mean, to y'all label and give you money. Because you probably need a lawyer money, my nigga. Like, damn, it was a smart play. I mean, yeah, great. Him saying this, it sound a little crazy, but like the overly dissing, the fake not saying that. I mean, like, yes, but like it gets to a point where it's like now you're okay. We know you're gonna have a little baby feature, like they say. We know you're gonna have a future feature. We know you're gonna mess with Metro. All right, what else now? You know what I'm saying? You're not doing nothing that's really like, you know.
Random drug screens. So that's just some of them.
Yeah.
Ones that I think would impact his career the most. Because we all know a large portion of Thug's image is guns, drugs, and street activity. So with Thug literally being banned from associating himself with that, everyone thought.
Also, he can't do drugs either.
Thanks to Restore, Prime Time is back.
This is my time.
I didn't want to be bald any longer.
thought he was going to be sent straight back to jail for violating his parole, with fans suggesting he's going to have to do a career makeover. He better start making gospel music. But most people weren't really concerned about that yet. They were just happy that the legend was home. However, his return didn't go as fans expected, as days passed after his release on the 31st of October in 2024, and fans got nothing. Some were arguing to relax, as he has just spent 2 years in a cell by himself. He probably just wants to spend some time with his family and enjoy his freedom.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. Like a good month would have been cool, but like a month passed, nothing. And it was like, all right, bro, like. Look what YB came out and did. Yeah, he wasn't there as long as stuff for 2 years, but like he was in there, he got out and got straight to it. He got straight to business. Now, granted, yeah, they cases different rules, play by the rule. YoungBoy beat the feds, my nigga. Like he you ain't beating them. The fact he beat them is like, my nigga, like. You know what I'm saying? No excuse, gang. Like, you gotta figure out something. You know, he came out, he dropped some scorching hot music, dropping heat, dropping bangers. And yeah. But, well, he's doing something that you should have did. You know. You working with Gunna, honestly, would have brought real hype back. Low key, that's hype. Even get a song with your YB right now. That's the hype. That's hype. You gotta work with Gunna. You got to. You got to. This is 2 things Young Thug can do to get this attention back. Work with Gunna. Work with YB. Seriously. 2 things that he could do. Perk would get with Kanye too. Get a song with Drake.
November, Thug would tweet, "Let's drop one of these rats, Peter," which is obviously quite stupid, as this is the kind of vague, aggressive language that could easily be interpreted as a violation of his probation terms. Here he is basically saying he wants to put a snitch to sleep, presumably targeting this at Gunna. Now, whilst Thug thought he was looking cool tweeting out threats like this, well, fans began literally clowning him for putting out stuff like this, when he could be called back to carry out a 15-year sentence for violating his parole terms. This fella doesn't like being free. Bro ain't making it that 15 years with his energy, and he would only continue to make it worse for himself, as just a week later he would tweet, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet, I don't know you, my guy," which is of course directed at his YSL signee, who he is no longer.
I thought that was like a fake tweet, so that was real. Okay, well that was, yeah, I remember that, and I would say that, okay, you know what, that was just one time he got at it. But yeah, damn.
Good terms with, as he allegedly snitched on Thug and his label after taking an Alfred plea deal in which he admitted YSL is a gang and needs to end. Now, fans argue whether he snitched or he didn't, but it's clear Thug and his people don't mess with him anymore. But that's not even the problem here. It's the fact he continues to put out tweets which don't look too great in court. He would end up saying he was hacked as more tweets were sent out, with one of them even trolling the state, saying he's in Metro Atlanta.
Tell the state, yeah, like him doing it. I mean, I'm not bad. Like, it's kind of like, all right, look at your Thug, like trolling and getting hot. Like, nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of like, that's kind of hypey. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I know he ain't supposed to do it, but it's like, okay, look at him being bad. Okay, like, it's a hype, but he just, this is why I think he made like I said, he made an art Instagram, and it's like, dude, like, you're not Cardi. Even a song with Cardi would get Thug some numbers too, definitely, most definitely. He definitely just screwed that. But yeah, like you're not Cardi. You don't need to make a different. Nigga, use your Instagram. Now everybody can't do the. Let me make an all Instagram post, put all my posts on there and be on somebody else live for like 37 people on there, and it's a rarity. So let me just play on they live and be live and stuff. Instead of like just use your own shit. Like, come on, man. Like.
But that may have just been a terrible excuse, even trolling this.
When I start eating my chicken in the freezer, it's got my name on it.
State saying he's in Metro Atlanta, but that may have just been a terrible excuse he came up with. But apart from playing with his freedom and even having girlfriend issues, Thug was not releasing any music. Well, that was until the 3rd of January in 2025, as Thug would feature on Lil Baby's album Wham on the song Dumb Dumb and Dumber alongside Future, which at first had insane hype, as of course it was the first official Thug verse since his arrest all the way back in 2022. And I mean, the song was hard. However, people also
Yeah,
felt
wasn't a
the
bad
song was
verse.
boring and generic. Kinda mid, feel like I'm being gaslit by all the hype. I feel like this is just a typical song like Thug and Future do well, but it just feels run of the mill. And I mean, I think we can understand what people are saying. Like,
Oh,
sure,
what they say? Edit what? Edit off. Further listen, even Thug and Future are
it just
meh.
feels run of the mill. And I mean, I think we can understand what people are saying. Like, sure, it's hard, but
Yeah.
also pretty similar to what we've gotten before. Which, you know,
Exactly. It's the fact that he only working with the same dudes. Like I said, the song was cool, but it just like at the same time, like they said, like you only working with. We already know who to expect who you gonna work with. You need to open that up some more. You gotta work with different artists. You gotta do more shit. You know what I'm saying?
no, it's not a bad thing, but it was supposed to be this big moment, Thug first verse since his arrest, but it just didn't end up having that feel it was supposed to. Well, it would be after this that Thug would begin rolling out his next album, Oi Scutty. Metro putting out tweets stating he's working on the next album.
An accountant
Scutty,
deposited
like,
money at
what's
Frost
even
Bank
that
by
name?
mistake.
Like-
So their Frost banker drove
Like,
to
what
other
does that
banks.
mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I guess.
Thug announcing his first show since his release, plastering Oi Scutty on social media, with Future also showing support, and with him also featuring on Playboy Carti's music album.
show was
even
recorded.
though
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
originally
he
a
sure was.
2021 verse from a song Thug recorded with Gunna, it still gave Thug that hype he needed, and from a song Carti's music album, even though it was originally a 2021 verse from a song Thug recorded with Gunna, it still gave Thug that hype he needed, and it seemed like he was properly rebuilding his hype and gearing up to drop his first official album since his arrest in 2022. However, he would actually end up making things worse for himself, as on Twitter, Young Thug would call out Marissa Viverito, an investigator with the Atlanta Police Department, calling her the biggest liar in the DA office, whilst attaching a picture of her, which backfired immediately, as District Attorney Fannie Willis filed a motion claiming Thug has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. As after he put out the tweet, people online started leaking her address, personal information, and even made threats against her. So
Oh,
basically,
yeah, bogus.
they
I
want
ain't gotta
Thug
do
back
all
in
that.
jail due to this tweet. Now, of course, Thug is not responsible for the action of other people, so the judge would deny the request as his own tweet wasn't anything bad. However, it was definitely on the riskier side, with the judge even
Yeah, that's
suggesting
bullshit,
Thug
no.
to be careful with what he says about certain topics. While the court does not find that the cited social media post rises to the level of a violation, it may be prudent for Williams to exercise restraint regarding certain topics, with Thug himself ending off the situation by saying in a tweet he's a good person. I don't make threats to people, I'm a good person. I would never condone any threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. Now look, I just don't know why he's playing with freedom like this. Just a couple months ago he was fighting a case that could have got him life in prison, got out on time served with probation, and now he's risking his freedom again. I just don't understand it, with fans of course having the same opinion about this just like they had with his previous tweets. Stop doing this or you'll go back to prison or jail. But not only were fans annoyed at Thug for not dropping music and risking his freedom, but for his newest YSL label signee. The YSL label has been around since around 2016. However, hasn't had many successful artists apart from Gunna. He had Lil Keed, but unfortunately passed away, and even someone like Young Ko had potential but just didn't drop for a very long time. So now without Gunna or Lil Keed, Thug needed some new proteges, which led to him signing 1300 Sane and then the very controversial Nine Vicious, who some people call Nine Victims. Born in 2002, the Atlanta native faced allegations of contacting minors. I'm prob waiting to 18 to do that. Don't ever post again looking that good. I love you. Come over. Oh, your age? Yes, I forgot, but I'll still talk to you and be your friend. These are the messages Nine Vicious sent to a 16-year-old whilst he was 19. Now, even though a 3-year age gap isn't the same as a 30-year-old man trying to meet a literal kid he met through Roblox, it's still not morally right, especially with him even admitting he will wait till she's 18. And also, this is America, so it is illegal for people of those ages to, and it continued to get worse for him. Well, he made it worse himself, as his response to these allegations, bruh, and a bunch of sub emojis, anyways, should finna be crazy. But that's not it, as later in a song from his project, Tumblr Music, he would say, I know I effed up, I admit it, I was horny, which is a terrible response to allegations that could be career ending. And with Thug then publicly co-signing him in a tweet where he wrote his lyrics, fans would be pretty disappointed. Worst thing you've ever done. So we're just letting the group shit go, Thug? Yeah, you gotta go back to jail, man. Now, some people may use the excuse that Thug didn't know, but
this is easily the most organized buying section I've ever done. Okay, so this is $7.93. Let me just split screen it so I can see both. Then check this out.
I'm pretty sure he definitely does, as he retweets and responds to fans often, so he definitely reads his replies. So yeah, of course, this is not a great look for Thug. It obviously won't really change people's opinion of him, but definitely still quite odd. But this is also rap, where you can pretty much get away with anything as long as people like your music, because Nine Vicious is still having a great career, considering how long he's been out for. I mean, I don't think he even has like 300,000 monthly listeners, and he's already signed to Young Thug. Anyways, after all that drama, 6 months since his release from jail, Thug would drop his first single out, Money on Money, featuring Future, where fans were hoping for a fire single to set off the album rollout. But fans were sort of disappointed. It's not that the song was bad, but underwhelming. I love Thug, but am I the only one that thinks it's underwhelming? I don't know, let's wait till the album. These geezers need to try something new, holy F, what's news? When is this sound gonna die for the love of God? And not only did people think the song was boring, but fans were annoyed Thug was once again sending shots at Gunna on this track. These F fellas are telling for nothing, and I gotta be the one calling them friends. With Thug's influence, you would expect fans to be siding with him. However, if you check the replies, everyone's actually defending Gunna. He didn't tell. Chill on Gunna, not gonna lie, you'll both be the system, just squash it now. Gunna took a plea deal, Buddy over here called him a rat. Just for him also to take a plea deal. Thug must have wanted to be the first fella to get that plea bargain. And I feel like the big reason of why fans are siding with Gunna is because since he was released, he's been on fire. He had FU Mean, which peaked at a number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, a huge hit. Then many hit songs from his second album after his release, One of One, such as One of One, On One Tonight, and Hakuna Matata. Now, even though some people are now clowning Gunna for putting out Get Ready With Me music, Instagram Reels music, it's working, whereas Thug's run has been a bit shaky. Anyways, back to Thug, it seemed like fans were getting tired, and unfortunately, he would continue with his stupid antics. On the 22nd of May, artist Kid Cudi would be subpoenaed to testify against Diddy about an alleged Molotov cocktail attack he carried out on his Porsche. Well, this is where Thug would step in and tweet, "Damn, Cudi a rap," which honestly felt like a breaking point for people on social media, because Thug got absolutely cooked for this. Young Thug almost 40 and still got the mindset of a child. Damn, Thug done beat a Rico and came out lame as hell. I'm telling you, son, we gotta start acknowledging the fact some fellas just on earth to hold black people back. I mean, there's a lot to break down about this situation. Firstly, well, Cudi isn't a street dude and has never acted like one. And second of all, he was subpoenaed, meaning he was called up to court and legally had to turn up to testify. Otherwise, they would have thrown him in jail. So with everything that we have covered so far, I think we can easily say most people are disappointed with Young Thug since his release from jail. You know, it was such a big moment. The legendary rapper facing life imprisonment, got off on probation, and is ready to make the craziest return to the rap game. Just for him to give a feature to Lil Baby, a 2021 verse on a Carti album, drop a generic song with Future, and put out stupid tweets. It's just disappointing. Personally, I thought the first day Thug got released, he was going to drop some crazy song which was going to go viral. Now, I understand why he didn't. He's just been locked away for 2 years. He probably just wants to rest and see his family. And of course, with his parole terms, he has to be careful with what he says. So I get that. But it's been like 6 months now, and to be fair, he's about to drop his album, Oi Scutty, which was actually supposed to drop in May but got pushed back, with some fans even believing it got pushed back because no one really cared about it.
UI Scooty, his return album, his first album since coming home from jail, you know, that album that everyone was hyping up before it even existed, was supposed to come out this Friday. I bet some...
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With Chews by Hims, you can regain your hair and your confidence. Our chews are powered by clinically proven ingredients like minoxidil and finasteride, so you can grow thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months. Your treatment is 100% personalized to your hair goals and comes at an affordable price that works for your budget, so you can step out with full confidence. Hats off to hair growth with treatment that works for you. Start today at hims.com.
Some of you watching this video didn't know that. Nobody was talking about it. It wasn't a big deal. Everyone was acting like they didn't care. It just wasn't talked about because it felt like people didn't care. Now, Young Thug has pushed the album back to June, and I think that that is actually part of the reason as to why it's been pushed back.
And even though his album's not even released yet, it was already under attack after it was confirmed that 21 Savage was featuring on the project, which just had many fans thinking, oh great, another generic trap album with features from the same artists, Lil Baby, Future, and 21 Savage. Which again isn't a terrible thing, but you know, with Thug, people were hoping for something experimental and out of the norm. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Thug's album? Personally, I'll check it out. I'm not like a crazy Young Thug fan. He's a bit before my time. Like, I've listened to his albums. I probably have like 20 or 30 songs liked by him on Spotify, but I'm not an avid fan of him compared to someone like Uzi or Carti. But again, that's due to my age. But another issue I think there is of Young Thug is like, there's a lot of people who like the idea of Young Thug or just follow the hype of Thug because they know he's a respected figure, but only a minority of those people actually check out his music, if that makes sense. Like, everyone knows he's a super influential dude, so they just kind of have to like and respect him. I think it's just one of those situations where Thug's influence, name, and image is just bigger than his actual music. Like, he's still a huge artist that, you know, that can pull crazy numbers, but maybe just not as big as we think. Because if we look at his album sales, he's never really reached the heights of someone like Lil Baby, Carti, Uzi. He's, you know, his highest selling album is 130,000. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think of Thug's run since he was released, and will you be checking out his album? And I even saw fans compare Young Boy's release from jail and how he did it pretty much perfectly, and it's what Thug should have done. Young Boy announced a huge nationwide arena tour, dropped a bunch of songs including features from Ye and Carti, obviously creating insane buzz around his name. Like, I don't even listen to Young Boy, but after I heard Alive with Carti and Ye, I checked out the other stuff he put out recently. I mean, Thug might do the same too. Maybe his album will be crazy, loads of hits, goes on a tour, and takes over the game. We'll have to wait and see. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
If you're here in Texas and you have an old heating or air conditioning system like this one, we can get you a brand new, super efficient one like this one right here for $0 down and only $39 a month. If you guys are interested, if you'd like the details on this offer, just click below. It's going to take you to a page with 1 or 2 quick questions, and then it'll text you over the details. Again, if you're anywhere here in Texas, we are one of the largest and most trusted heating and air conditioning companies in the state. And this month, we can get you a brand new, super, super efficient heating and air conditioning system. It is a heat pump, so it will be able to do both for $0 down and only $39 a month. If you guys are interested, if you'd like the details, again, just click below. It's going to take you to a page with 1 or 2 quick questions, and then we'll text you over the details.
Oh, hey, that's gonna do it for the vid.